Well, summer is officially over, technically speaking,
Kind of, sort of.
kind of, sort of, but season is back next week, and that means that we are back as well.
Hmm.
So, for one last time, out with the old and in with the new next week. So, let's just push that button, shall we?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Football freaks, gridiron geeks, have no fear because four horsemen are here in the flesh. Bay. What
Boom,
is going
boom.
on, everybody? Hey, Pizzle, Alex Putnam in here, representing the aqua and the orange 365 days a year, even though I'm in black right now, which makes sense. But here we are, along with Tiny Tim, representing America's team 24/7, 365, baby, if you will.
Alex, good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you as well. Hope you had a awesome summer vacation.
Well, yeah, just keeping up with the news around the NFL during the summer while trying to beat this Texas heat. I gotta tell you, people, we've had like heat index of like 110, 115. It has been a brutal summer down here in Texas. I'm surprised I even survived it. But hey, we are just days away from the start of the 2023 NFL season. I
8
am
days.
so fired up. Just
8 days
days
away.
away, buddy.
You can see it. I can taste it. I can feel it in my bones.
Oh, yeah.
Feel it. But tonight is the night. We're in February. We're going to look back on and we are going to either A, prove that we are geniuses or prove that we have no idea what the hell we're talking about. Because tonight we are going to give our predictions for this upcoming season. We will go by each division and say who's going to be first, second, third, and fourth, along with the playoffs, with the Super Bowl, and the awards at the end. All right. LC is on his way. Steel Sermon hopefully will be joining us as well. So let's just get this show on the road, shall we?
Do I have an impression of Terry Funk? Well,
R.I.P.
you egg sucking dog. That's the only one I know. But may God rest his soul.
You're right, dead man.
We've lost a lot of people here lately. Of course, this past Saturday morning, a definite part of my life passed away. The great Bob Barker.
The greatest game show host of all time.
Yes.
100 days shy of his 100th birthday. May he rest in peace. And of course, Bray
absolutely.
Wyatt. Bray Wyatt the day after Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Follow the buzzards. Okay. Now, let's get to predicting the NFL season. We're going to start out with the NFC North. Speaking of the NFC North,
There
Elsie
he
Muscles is
is.
in the
What's
house.
up, guys?
What's
Sorry, I
up,
could not find my
man?
headphones. Sorry, I could not find my headphones. I was looking for them.
Well, we here now.
You
Yeah.
here now?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man.
Hope you had a nice summer vacation.
I did.
And we here. We're back, baby. Yes, sir. We're going to start with the AFC North, your division, Lucas.
Really, you're starting already off the big
We're
end.
gonna go north. We're gonna go south. We're gonna go east. We're gonna go west, just like a compass.
Ooh, all right. I like it. I like it.
So,
Right.
I think we should save him for last because this is his division after
Yes,
all.
it is.
Right.
So,
What's up, guys? Snowman. What's up, everyone?
yes, let's say hi to the chat real quick. Snowman, Eric, what's going on? Godfather Dom, we meet
What's
again.
up, Dashy?
Romy boy,
Roll me. Big man, what's up?
Luke Thatcher, James the Emperor. What's going on,
Emperor.
everybody? Each and every single one of y'all, how we doing? Keep it moving.
Great to
Starting
have
out-
you guys. Great to have you guys back here with us because we love each and every one of you.
Yes. You're damn right. So we're gonna go from last to first. I think that would be easy, right?
Yeah, that'll be easy.
Yeah.
So
I'll
starting
do it.
out in the AFC North, I think in last place, we're gonna go with the Cleveland Browns. I think this is
Yep.
let's see how many times I say this tonight. No surprise to anybody whatsoever. Because that was my thing
it's gonna
last
be a
year. I said that a
counter.
lot. So the Browns really didn't do that much of anything this offseason, if we're being honest. I mean, they still got Deshaun Watson. They brought in they still have Amari Cooper.
You still have Nick
Defense-
Chubb.
They still got Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in the NFL. But other than that, Browns just on paper don't look that impressive. Plus, I mean, the schedule, they got to go up against the Bengals twice. They got to go up against the Steelers twice. Let me just pull up their schedule real quick. Let's see. They got the 49ers. They got the Seahawks. They got the Jets. Yeah, it's going to be a tough year for the Browns. I have them at 7-10. All right. Now for third place, I actually have Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett to Pickens. Pickett to Pickens is going to be an amazing combo for years to come.
Oh, yeah.
TJ Watt is one of the best players in the league right now defensively, and he could possibly win Defensive Player of the Year if he puts it up. But with the competition in the AFC North, with the Bengals being good, the Ravens being good, we're going to talk about them just a little bit. I think the Steelers will be in third place, and I have them at 9-8. Second place for the North, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. I have them at 10-7. I think they did enough just to get to second place in this division. Yeah, they still got Joe Burrow. They still got the best three receiver duo in the league with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd. Plus, they have Trey Hendrickson from where, Elsie? From FAU.
FAU.
Give a hoot. Don't pollute.
10-7
for the Cincinnati Bengals. And in first place, I have the Baltimore Ravens at 11-6. They gave Lamar the new deal. They finally gave him a new receiver. Finally gave him a receiver in Odell Beckham Jr. Plus, they have Devin Duvernay. They drafted Zay Flowers in the first round. I think they're going to be pretty good. I have them at 11-6. There we go. That's my AFC North prediction.
Tiny Tim.
What say you?
Well, I agree with you for fourth place. I believe the Cleveland Browns, as you said, they didn't do much during the off season. I have them finishing with a record of 5-12.
Ooh.
Okay. A little worse than me, but all right.
Now, this is where it's going to get interesting.
Oh,
Actually, I have the Baltimore Ravens finishing in third place, but with a decent record of 11-6.
oh,
Ooh, okay.
ooh.
I'm starting to think that Lamar Jackson may be still a little bit shaky, but not as much as he was last year. Have them finishing 11-6, and well, if I give the second place team, then I'll give away the first two teams. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Okay.
My pick to win the NFC North this year,
AFC North.
or the AFC North, yes. My pick for the AFC North winner, I'm going with the picket fence.
I love it.
I've got the Pittsburgh Steelers finishing 13-4.
Wow.
Oh,
I see this as a great year for Kenny Pickett. I feel this is going to be a great year for him. This is going to be his breakout year. And I see the Cincinnati Bengals taking second place with a record of 12-5.
Wow.
So I've got Steelers, Bengals, Ravens, and Browns.
interesting.
Wow.
Interesting, but I like it. I like it. Spicy.
I like it too, man.
Spicy. Okay. I think we know where this one's going. So,
All right, let's see what happens.
what we got here?
So, Alex, I do have the same result for your last place team, like as mine as well, and that is the Cleveland Browns finishing 7-10. The Browns, they do have some interesting players. Like they still have probably one of the best running backs in the league, in Nick Chubb.
Yep.
But realistically, I think that the Browns are still just unfortunately going to be the bottom feeder of the AFC North. Their schedule is a lot tougher than people give them credit for, and I can't trust Deshaun Watson for a whole year, man. I can't just trust him. I just do not think that he's going to get the job done. And here's my bold prediction. I think they win I think they win maybe one game of the entire division schedule. Like all the games of their division, they only win one.
Brutal.
Whoa.
1-5 in their division.
Wow.
Second place is going to be a shocker. Third place is going to be a shocker to me. Third place, Baltimore Ravens. I can't trust Lamar Jackson to be safe for healthy for a full year. I can't trust him. Seriously. Like I think that he's going to get injured at some point again. I can't trust him, unfortunately.
That's what he does.
He always seems to get injured. And then Baltimore paying Lamar Jackson, I think that was a big mistake, even though they literally were stuck between a rock and a hard place. I think it was a mistake because the guy cannot be healthy for a full season, and I think he gets injured once again. I think they're going to regret it. This contract is something they're going to regret down the line. Even though they got a lot of talent, I just don't think Lamar Jackson could be healthy throughout a whole year. They got some good key pieces around, but one of their big weaknesses, I think, as well, is their secondary is just continuing to get older, and I don't think their secondary is nearly as good as it once was. And the Ravens defensively, you could beat them pretty much by just attacking their secondary mostly. So I'm going to take the Ravens at 9-8. Second place, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. That's 11-6. I think the problem is Cincinnati's schedule is a lot harder than it's probably one of the toughest schedules in the league. And Cincinnati, they got a great receiving tandem, but I think losing Jesse Bates is going to really hurt them this year. I think losing Jesse Bates is really going to hurt them in their defense. They still got a great defensive line. That's where the strength of their defense is going to be, is their defensive line. But I think that their secondary, their linebackers are probably going to be one of the tougher things as well. So I'm going to take the Bengals at 11-6. 11-6.
Okay.
So 11-6 for the Cincinnati Bengals, and then I have first place is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going with my Steelers to be in first place.
I wonder why.
The Steelers have one of the most, probably they improved the most out of any team in the AFC North this year. I think they improved the most out of everyone, including building up their offensive line and how they performed in the preseason. Their starting offensive lineup got 5 touchdowns off 5 offensive drives. What does that tell you already? And then our offensive line just continuing to get better. We got rid of Kendrick Green and Kevin Dotson, who were going to be players that really didn't benefit us. But I think our offensive line could be one of the best in the league. I think Najee Harris is due for a breakout year for his 3rd year. And I think the Steelers are going to go 12-5. I don't think they go 13-4, but I think they lose a few games. I think we probably lose to Jacksonville. I think we lose to the Bengals. At least we split with the Bengals. We split with the Ravens. And I think we probably lose another. Dave Nelson with the Steelers. Be quiet, Romy. Be quiet.
That was good.
But still, I think the Steelers, though, have a really favorable schedule this year. I think we probably lose a few games, but realistically, I think we only lose. I think we may lose the Seahawks, but realistically, I think we're going to go 12-5 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. All right. LC has them at 12-5. Okay. Moving on to the AFC South. Who do you guys got and why for the AFC South?
I'll go to the first in the AFC South this one. I have my last place team is the Indianapolis Colts. I don't think adding Anthony Richardson is going to really help them out too much. I would rather see Gardner Minshew start first.
Thank you. Yep.
The Colts right now just don't have that much of a good team. They really don't have a strong foundation. Quentin Nelson's getting older. And the Browns right now are just the Colts. Realistically, they got the Colts. I just don't like their schedule, man. The Colts have got a brutal schedule for them. You got the already starting off with the Jaguars, Ravens, and Titans the first 3 of the first 5 weeks. They got the Jaguars again in week 6. So pretty much they're going to, best case scenario, they go 1-5 the first 6 weeks. And then they got a brutal schedule at the end of the year, playing the Titans, Bengals, Steelers, Raiders, pretty much 4 of the last 6 weeks. 4-13 for the Colts. After that, it's the Houston Texans. I have them at 6-11. They got some good players to build upon. C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, and C.J. Stroud. I think this Texans team is going to be competitive, but I don't think they get the job done in every single game. 6-11 for the Texans. Titans at 8-9. I just don't like the Titans, realistically. I don't like their chances. I think Tannehill is going to get benched at some point, and I think that the Titans, not Malik Willis. Will Levis will start at some point. Malik Willis, that is just unfortunate for him. But Tennessee's getting older, and I don't like their chances at competing 8-9. And then finally, the Jaguars at 10-7. I have them winning the division. Best team in the AFC South by far. They have some tough games, but they get the job done nonetheless. So that's what I got for the AFC South.
Did you cheat off me? Because I basically have the same results as you do. Pretty much the same record as well.
Wow.
Same record as well. I have the Colts in last place at 4-13. Texans in third, 7-10. I have the Titans in second at 8-9. Again, I don't trust. I agree. I think Tannehill will get benched, and I don't trust either Will Levis or Malik Willis. That's just how it is. They got to rely on Derrick Henry. They're going to do that all the time. It's just like, the defense is okay, but got to do something offensively. And then first place, I as well have the Jaguars at 10-7. So we are basically in agreement.
That's actually crazy.
So how about that?
Yeah.
Wahoo. Tim, what say you?
Okay, well, I've got the Titans finishing last place with a record of 4-13.
Gardner Minshew should be starting. I don't care what anybody says. Minshew.
Still with that Minshew mania, huh?
That's right. I still believe. Damn it.
I actually have a tie for second place, but I believe the tie break will go to the Indianapolis Colts. I have both the Colts and the Texans finishing at 6-11.
Mm.
But I got the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence and that great offense, that pretty good defense. I have them finishing first place with a record of 12-5.
Okay. I like that. I like it a lot. Okay. AFC East. This is my division. Save me for last on this one, if y'all don't mind.
Gladly. I will go ahead and kick this one off. Patriots. They're now, I guess we can now say they're an afterthought. I believe
took them long enough.
Yeah. I see them finishing with a record of 4-13.
Shit.
I have no trust in Mac Jones whatsoever. And I believe that this may be Bill Belichick's final year as head coach.
I agree with that. I will agree with that.
I really got to see something good from Tua, but I have him finishing at 7-10, third place. Even though they do have the cheetah.
And the penguin.
And the penguin. I actually have the New York Jets finishing second place with a record of 12-4.
That bad.
Absolutely. I believe he could be a great mentor to Zach Wilson. He can learn from him. He has a proven starter that can teach him.
True.
And of course, first place in the East. You got to circle the wagons for the Buffalo Bills.
Should I play that clip? I've been wanting to play this. I've been wanting to play this for 3 months now, but I just got to do it.
No, it's the Bills! Buffalo all the way this time!
Yeah.
That never gets old.
Every time.
Every time. I got Josh Allen and the Bills finishing with a record of 13-4.
Okay. 13-4 for the Buffalo Bills. LC, what say you, good sir?
Alrighty, so I got the Patriots at 5-12. This is Belichick's last year. No doubt about that. Matt Jones, this is his last chance. Gonna get a quarterback in the offseason. For next year, next up is the Miami Dolphins at 10-7. I think the Dolphins aren't going to play a lot better, but I still think that they are a really good fringe playoff team, but I still think that schedule will hurt them early on. Second place, the New York Jets, 11-6. Aaron Rodgers makes a huge difference for them, especially in their offense with Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers and Breece Hall. That's going to be a great tandem right there in New York. Then first place is the Buffalo Bills, just like Dashy. He's just not like Dashy, but like Tiny Tim has. A lot of other people have the Buffalo Bills as first place. And I think that will continue. I think they get the number one overall seed in the AFC with a record of 13-4.
Okay. All right. Now it's my turn. I agree with you guys 100%. Patriots will be last. I have them at a record of 6-11. I do agree this is Mac Jones' last chance to prove himself. And if things don't pan the way that Mr. Belichick should, I think he might be on his way out and retire. And hopefully he does, because I don't want anybody touching Don Shula's record. Just saying. Not being a bias or anything. I'm just saying. Third place. This one's going to – well, there is a tie. I have them both, these next two teams, both at 10-7. And third, but I think the higher seed or the higher one that gets in second place will have the better record in the division. So, with that being said, third place, I have the New York Jets at 10-7. And in second place, I have the Miami Dolphins also at 10-7. And in first place, I agree with you guys 100%. I'm just going to play it again because.
No, it's the Bills! Buffalo all the way this time!
There you go.
Well, there we go.
And
12-5.
Look who's here, Gary.
12-5.
Here.
Yeah, you gotta create that.
Yeah,
Gotta create that.
we gotta see that from Gary.
So yeah, 12-5 for the Buffalo Bills in the AFC. As for the West, I'll start this one out. For the West, last place in the West, I have the Las Vegas Raiders. You go from Derek Carr to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, not much improvement.
Not that much of an improvement, but and plus, look who's still their head coach, Josh McDaniels. Nobody wants to see that anymore. Just in case nobody wants to see that anymore. They still got Josh Jacobs though. They still have Max Crosby on defensive side. Those two won't get them over the edge anyway whatsoever. Give me the Vegas Raiders in last place at a record of 5-12. Third place, this one might be a little bit of a surprise. Third place, I have the Los Angeles Chargers.
Really? Wow.
I have the LA Chargers. I don't see them doing much of anything. I think Brandon Staley is overrated as hell as a head coach. I think he should have been gone last year when they blew that lead in the playoffs to the Jaguars. Defense looks all right. They still have Justin Herbert. What do you fucking do? 8-9. Give me the Chargers. 8-9, third place. Second place, Denver Broncos. I think Sean Payton is going to light that team up like nobody's ever seen before. I think that they will be much improved, and I believe that the Broncos will be in second place at a record of 10-7. And in first place, you have the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champion, the Kansas City Chiefs. Record of 12-5. And I think they'll be the number one seed in the AFC.
Wow, Alex, you pretty much called two of the records are pretty much the exact same, just like we had for the AFC South. But I do have a little bit of differences here. Last place of the Raiders, 8-9. I just don't see that all the acquisitions they got. I don't think it's going to be able to get them over the hump.
Still overrated.
Everyone they have in the division, and their schedule's pretty brutal. They could beat Denver, but I just don't think they get past like teams like Pittsburgh, Kansas City, or the Los Angeles Chargers. Third place, I have the Denver Broncos at 10-7. This team is probably 1 year away from being a playoff team, but I think they will definitely make a huge jump from when they were last year. Then second place is Los Angeles Chargers. I think that they're another good, talented team, but I think that they just don't have what it takes to really get past the many other teams in the AFC, and especially like Miami and a couple of other complete playoff teams. I just don't think they get it done. And then finally, my number one team, same as yours, is the Kansas City Chiefs at 12-5. No doubt about it. The undisputed, reigning undisputed, Undertaken, all those words, Super Bowl champion. Undertaken, Super Bowl champion. Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to get the job done at the end of the day, and I think that they will be at 12-5. I don't think they'll be as good as they've been in the past few years, but I still think there will be a top 3 seed in the AFC.
Right.
There we go.
All right. I'm not going to be very generous as you guys are for the records of my fourth and third place teams.
Okay.
Finishing in fourth place, I agree it will be the Las Vegas Raiders, although I only see them winning 2 games in the whole year.
What?
And I believe,
wow.
and I believe it will be in the middle of the season where they will finally wake up and they will finally fire Josh Daniels.
Wow. Josh McDaniels getting
McDaniels.
fired in the middle of the season. Wow.
Josh McDaniels fired in the middle of the season.
2.
Third place. Finishing with a record of 7-10. No Chargers, no.
Thank you.
Hey, Alex, just for the hell of it, play that clip.
Arnold? You want to hear Arnold?
I want to hear the Terminator.
You want to hear Terminator?
And now go Chargers, go.
But it's going to be no Chargers, no this year, even though they do have a great running back in Austin Eckler. Offense is still shaky. Defense is suspect. 7-10 go to the Chargers. Second place team is Denver Broncos. I've seen them finishing 13-4. They now have a proven Super Bowl winning coach, Sean Payton, who, of course, as some of you may remember, many years ago was once defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, and almost could have been the head coach for the Cowboys.
Almost.
But they decided to give Mike McCarthy another year. And in first place, the reigning, defending, conquering Super Bowl champions, the heavyweight champion of the world, the Kansas City Chiefs. And listen to this. I looked over the Chiefs' schedule this year. I looked it up and down, forwards and backwards, left and right. I have them with a record of 16-1.
Who's okay?
Wow.
I'm curious.
I'm gonna let you guess who that one loss is.
Let me pull up their schedule real quick.
Pull up that schedule. See if you agree.
Let me see.
Yes, that's right, Godfather. 2 wins. Josh McDaniels does suck.
If it's who I think it is. Is it that bad man in the Jets?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I think their only loss will be on the road in Denver.
Wow, the Broncos finally beat them.
I could.
I like that.
But I just love my boy. And speaking of Patrick Mahomes, my high school football team, Jacksonville, is going to be playing on the road this week against Patrick Mahomes' hometown, White House Wildcats.
Okay.
And we have our high school games on YouTube every Friday night, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so my teams are Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders.
Okay, so that completes the AFC. Who do you guys have as the teams for the playoffs for the AFC?
My number 1 seed, Buffalo Bills. Number 2 seed, Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 3 seed, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 4 seed, Jacksonville Jaguars. 5th seed, New York Jets. 6th seed, Cincinnati Bengals. And 7th seed, Miami Dolphins. Those are my playoff teams.
All right.
Well, my AFC teams. Number 1 seed, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2 seed, Buffalo Bills. I have the Steelers at the number 3 seed. Nice. I have the Jaguars at the number 4 seed. Mm-hmm. My number 5 seed, first wild card, Denver Broncos. Number 6 seed, the second wild card, Cincinnati Bengals. And the 3rd seed, the 3rd wild card, the 7th seed, I got that bad man. And Aaron and the Jets at number 7 seed. So those are my teams.
All right. Now for me, number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2, Buffalo Bills. Number 3, Baltimore Ravens. Number 4, Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 5, Miami Dolphins. Number 6, Cincinnati Bengals. And number 7. The
goddamn Jets.
The Jets.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now moving on to the NFC. Once again, we'll start in the North. In last place, I have the Chicago Bears. I think the Bears should be in last place, honestly. You know, you still got Justin Fields. They still got it. They're still a few more pieces away, if you know what I mean, from actually contending in the NFC North. Third place is the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be tough to not have Aaron Rodgers anymore, but it's the era of love. All you need is love. 7 wins is only. That's how I see the Packers doing. 7-10 for the Green Bay Packers. And second place, I have the Minnesota Vikings. Last year, they were pretty close. They came close. They had that incredible comeback last year against the Colts. Greatest comeback in NFL history. And I think they improve on that. I have them in second place at 9-8. And in first place, for the first time in a long time, the Lions actually look really good. I have them at 10-7 and winning the NFC North for the first time in God knows how long.
This is 1991. I'm pretty sure.
91. So there we go. That's who I have in the North.
Tiny Tim.
All right. Actually, my last place team in the NFC North is the Green Bay Packers, finishing with a record of 5-12.
Oh, sounds true.
Yeah,
93.
It's Jordan.
Okay. 93.
Yeah, 93. Yeah. Yep.
We meet again.
It's Jordan Love's time, but unfortunately, it's going to take some time. Take some time to get situated because he really was like how many games he started? Less than 5 games in his career.
Yep,
I think only 2.
Only 2. So really got into it. Really got to get into it this year. He's going to struggle, but he'll learn. I'm sure he'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
I have the Bears finishing at 8-9, third place.
Okay.
Probably just short of 500. But hopefully Justin Fields will be all right. He's making a slow improvement. Some people improve quickly, some improve slowly. He's slowly improving.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Minnesota Vikings finishing at second place with a record of 10-7. Might have been a little bit of a down year. They almost made the playoffs, but I still see that great combination of Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. And, of course, what's that tight end that they got from Detroit?
T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah, T.J. Hawkinson. He's been a good improvement or good replacement in Minnesota. I see them going 10-7 and making the playoffs. I'll tell a little bit more about that. First place for the NFC North will be the Detroit Lions. I see them finishing with a record of 11-6, and this will include, and this is one of my bold predictions for 2023, they will win on Thanksgiving against the Packers.
Yes, finally.
I like that.
And my uncle, God bless him, he lives in Arkansas. He's a huge Lions fan. Finally, he's going to be doing a happy dance on Thanksgiving right before he eats up that turkey. Because I say the Lions will beat the Packers on Turkey Day. So, Lions, Vikings, Bears, Packers, 1-4. That's my NFC North.
Boom.
Tiny Tim, you and me have a lot of similar picks once again for the NFC North. Start off with the Green Bay Packers at 5-12. Yeah, it's going to take time for Love to spread his love across against the NFC North, because right now he does have some targets, but it's just not going to be enough to get himself a winning record this year. 5-12 for the Packers. Chicago Bears at 6-11. I just don't think they have the talent compared to a lot of other teams in the NFC North, and I think that the Bears are getting better slightly, but it's going to be another rebuilding year for them. Fields is going to be an offensive threat, but realistically, I can't trust their run game. The run game is one of the weakest in the entire NFL, and their defense has improved, but I just don't think it's going to be able to get them more than 6 wins this year. After that, we have the Minnesota Vikings at 9-8. I think that the Vikings are a really solid team, but they went 11-0 last year in one-score games. There's no way they're repeating that again this year. They may win a couple of one-score games, but they're not going to go 11-0. That's just not feasibly possible to do 2 years in a row. You have a bigger chance of getting struck by lightning. After that, I have the Detroit Lions at 11-6, first time winning the division in 30 years, and I think that the Lions will go 11-6. Their talent is absolutely undeniable. You have one of the best coaches in the league in Dan Campbell. As a motivator, he's fantastic, and I think that the Lions with Jared Goff are going to be a contender this year in the NFC. I don't think they are in the upper echelon of the NFC talent, but they might even give the Kansas City Chiefs a run for their money in Week 1.
Oh. I like
there you go, Godfather. He was asking when was the last time that the Lions won on Thanksgiving. 2016 against the Vikings.
Interesting. All right. Now moving on to the NFC South. This one, honestly, was the toughest one for me to pick. I don't know about you guys, because this one could go up anyway. Could go
so many ways.
Yeah.
In so many ways, but I think it's pretty clear who last place is going to be, though. Do you think? Would you agree?
Yes.
Last place, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No surprise there.
Right.
How crazy is it? You go from Jameis Winston to Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield. If you told me that 10 years ago or 5 years ago, I would have thought you were absolutely insane.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just crazy how the NFL works nowadays.
It's insane.
I have them in last place, and I have them at a record in 4-13.
Oof. Ouch.
Yeah. I really don't see the Bucs doing much of anything. Plus, Todd Bowles, I don't think he's the right coach for the job. I think he gets fired after this year. And someone else leads the Buccaneers on to the promised land.
I could see that.
Third place, we have the Carolina Panthers. I have them in third place with new quarterback Bryce Young, new head coach Frank Reich, all those pieces on the defense like J.C. Horn. All of them. I have them going 8-9. I have them going 8-9, being in third place in the NFC South. Second place, I have the Atlanta Falcons. I think Desmond Ridder will take that step up. I like that they got Bijan Robinson in the first round. I think he's going to work wonders. Hook 'em horns, you damn right. Plus, I mean, they got one of my favorite underrated receivers in the NFL right now, Mac Hollins. He's currently their wide receiver number 2, right behind Drake London. I have them also at 8-9 and winning the NFC South, the Who Dat Nation, the New Orleans Saints. Since Drew Brees retired, they have been asking for a quarterback to come in and lead them back into the playoffs. And now with Derek Carr there, I think they will do just that. Give me the New Orleans Saints to win the NFC South with a record of 9-8.
Alrighty, so my NFC South predictions. I got the Buccaneers at 5-12. Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield, what a terrible combination is there. And I mean, just transition there. One of the best quarterbacks of all time to a guy that's beyond mediocre. You only got Mike Evans as one of the top pieces out there, but still. The rest of the players, though, on the Buccaneers really do not help me out. They have so many players leaving free agency as well.
Something interesting about that. Mike Evans, every single year he's been in the NFL, he's had over 1,000 yards. You think he gets it this year?
I think so. I think he's the only option, realistically.
All right.
I think that he does for 5-12 for the Buccaneers. Then we have third place. I have the Carolina Panthers with Bryce Young. I don't think he starts right away, though. I really wish he wouldn't. I think they should start Andy Dalton just at least to start a little bit. Then you would get into Bryce Young. But still, I think Bryce Young is going to be solid his rookie year, but I just don't think he's going to be world-breaking, though. 7-10 for the Panthers. They got some good pieces as well, including their new wide receiver number 1, Adam hooked on a Thielen.
And I'm high on
Ooga,
shaka.
Yes.
And now, who's their running back 1? I forgot who their new running back is.
Miles Sanders.
Oh, that's right. Miles Sanders from the Eagles, from the defending NFC champion Eagles. Is now the running back 1 as well. So they got a good roster, but I still think that their defense needs some work. 7-10. I think the Falcons go 8-9 next. I think the Falcons are going to surprise to see people. Bijan Robinson, I think, is a really good pickup, and I think he's going to be a really good running back for the Falcons. Kyle Pitts is a make-or-break year for him as well. But I think the Falcons overall are a really strong team. But they do have a lot of growing pains to go through first. So Desmond Ridder will win them some games. But I think Taylor Heineke is probably going to win most of them at some point. I think Taylor Heineke is going to win.
Break open the Heineke.
Break open the Heineke. That's my boy.
And I think they go on a late season run, though, to finish off right below 508-9. Then finally, Who Dat Nation, New Orleans Saints win the NFC South at the record of 10-7. It's the Aints, even though they're not the Aints anymore, but they're going to be back to being the division winner. And I think that Derek Carr is going to be a good fit in New Orleans. I think they got some good young receiving options. Even though they don't have Kamara for the first 3 games, I still think that at the end of the day, I think the Saints will win. I just think they have overall the best roster, best defense in the NFC South.
All right.
Right on.
Well, I agree with you two guys. Tampa Bay will finish dead last in the NFC South, but I am not going to be as generous as you guys are. I see them get into a lot of trouble during the season. 2-15.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I see Carolina actually finishing just below 500, but 9-8. That rookie quarterback, was it Stroud that they got for Carolina?
Bryce Young.
Oh, Bryce Young. I don't know if it's really good to start a rookie right off the bat. But I guess when you don't really have anyone else, or if there's someone there that you don't really trust, I have no idea.
Would you trust Andy Dalton now?
He's past his prime. His best years was in Cincinnati.
He's on the Panthers now. He's their backup. Yeah.
I mean, Andy Dalton did okay in Dak Prescott's absence, but that was just for a little while. So I got Carolina finishing 9-8. I got the Falcons finishing second place at 10-7.
Wow.
And I'm already going to say it. Bijan Robinson will be Offensive Rookie of the Year.
That's actually all right.
We'll get to that. One of my bold positions. He's going to be a big improvement for that Falcon offense. For the NFC South, I go Who Dat with the Saints. Derek Carr, I think he may be a great fit in New Orleans. I got the Saints finishing at 12-5.
12-5. Okay.
So I got Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Buccaneers.
All right. Now moving on to your division, Tim. It is the NFC East.
Save me for last.
Save Tim for last. All right. Well, the best thing the Commanders did this year was got rid of Dan Snyder, thankfully.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord. Amen. Their team, on the other hand, well, not looking so good. I don't trust Sam Howell. Ron Rivera's good coach. Let's see if Chase Young can come back to form as he did his rookie year. But I have the Commanders at 5-12.
Wow.
Yeah, 5-12. I don't trust Sam Howell that much or at all, to be honest. Third place. I could see this happening. Third place, you got the New York Giants. Gave Daniel Jones all this money. Put Saquon on the franchise tag. Could work out. Could not. But if I'm being honest, I think Saquon should have gotten the deal, not Daniel Jones.
I agree. 100%.
Because you pay your best player. Saquon is their best player. He did have his best year though last year, Daniel Jones. But I think they'll be third place. I think they take a step back than they were last year. I have them at 8 and 9. Second place. Let me hear you, Jimmy.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
I have them at 10 and 7. I have the Cowboys at 10 and 7. I think they might take that step up that they need. We shall see. But as of right now, I have the Cowboys at 10 and 7. And in first place, you got those Philadelphia Champions, the reigning, defending, undisputed NFC champions. I have them at 13 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
LC, what say you?
What say me? I got the Washington Redskins. I'm not the Commander. It's not the Commander. It's the Washington Redskins.
Hey, you hear they might come back.
I'm hearing that they might come back, which
they might come
actually
back
is
to that
pretty
name.
awesome. I do like that. So I'm going to take the Redskins 8 and 9. Yes, that's what they should be called, the Redskins 8 and 9. Then we got the New York Giants at 9 and 8. I think that they got some good overall players, but I think I agree once you with Alex. You got the fact that you paid Jones and not Barkley. That was just a big mistake. I think that the Giants will still be a respectable team. I just don't think they're going to go back to the playoffs 9 and 8. Then you have the Cowboys. I think they're going to go 10 and 7. After that, I have the defending, reigning, undisputed NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. I think that they're going to go 13 and 4, be the number 1 seed in the NFC. Their team overall is just too stacked. Even though they lost Javon Hargrave, I still think that they are very solid and formidable unit offensively and defensively. So I still think that the Eagles are going to win eventually, but still, Cowboys will still be a playoff team as well. But yeah, that's what I got for the NFC East.
All righty then. Well, I'm just going to make this nice and quick because I basically agree with everything you guys have said and how the teams will finish. In fourth place, I've got the Commanders with a record of 4 and 13.
Okay.
I've got the Giants finishing third place with a record of 7 and 10. Yeah, that might come back to haunt them, paying Jones instead of Barkley. Might come back to haunt them. I've got my boys finishing a record of 12 and 5. So this will probably be the third year in a row they finished 12 and 5. Better than those 3 years I think went 8 and 8. 3 years in a row. Remember that?
Yep.
I
remember that.
And once again, I hate to say it, I just hate them. I loathe them. I despise them. The filthy Philadelphia Chickens. I actually see them going 15 and 2.
Wow.
The only losses I see for the Eagles this year right now, this will be in week 6 at the Jets.
Against that bad man.
Against that bad man, right. And then in week 11 in Kansas City.
Ooh, not against the Cowboys.
Actually, well, it's going to be kind of tough. Actually, yeah, let me
You have the Eagles sweeping the Cowboys?
It could happen.
It could happen.
It could happen.
That is very true. We shall see.
So I got Chickens, Cowboys, Dwarfs, and the Cobra Commanders.
Cobra Commanders. That's right. All right. Last division we got is the NFC West.
Ooh.
Who do you guys got and why for the NFC West?
I'll go first for the NFC West. For the NFC West, I have the worst team in the NFL without a wide margin, and it's the Arizona Cardinals. I have them going 1-16.
Damn.
I think they win Week 17 at Seattle or home against Seattle, but I think the rest of them they go 0-16 to start the year and win the last game. This is the worst roster on paper. They are in for a long, bad year to get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1 and 2 overall next year in the draft.
Ooh.
Then I have the Rams going 7-10, even though they won their Super Bowl a few years ago. This team is going to have another losing season. They were the worst defending Super Bowl champions, and they're going to be another mediocre year. This could be Matt Stafford's last year in the NFL, leading to Stetson Bennett playing eventually. Then I have the Seattle Seahawks. Yep, Stetson Bennett.
He's like 90.
I know he's definitely up there as a rookie, but still. Then we have the Seattle Seahawks. I have them going 10-7. They got a very good young roster. I still think they got a lot of great pieces. Geno Smith definitely playing very well for them. And they definitely won that trade last year with the Broncos and the Seahawks. And they're going to prove it once again. They win the division. I mean, they don't win the division, but they go at least another season with 10 wins. 10-7 for the Seahawks. Then finally, the San Francisco 49ers have them going 12-5. Very impressive team. Probably the best defense in the NFC overall. Niners are a phenomenal team, to be honest with you. They're a phenomenal team, and I think that they're going to be one of the best teams overall in the league. 12-5 for the Niners.
All right. Tim, who you got in this one?
Y'all may call me crazy on this one, but I only see one team winning at least 10 games this year in this division.
Ooh.
Just one. Okay.
I see the Rams finishing at 2-15.
Wow.
I actually see the Seahawks finishing 6-11.
Really?
Wow.
I don't see the Arizona Cardinals doing any better. I see them finishing 8-9.
Really?
And of course, the only team that I have finishing with at least 10 wins will be the 49ers at 13-4. Yeah, Cardinals third place. I know on paper it looks kind of crazy, but I just couldn't really see. Or maybe y'all know something that I don't, but I guess the only thing I can definitely say, Niners with the victory in the West.
I got to do it.
Bitch, are you for real?
Yep. I'm just.
Bitch, are you?
You for real?
Yeah, I was expecting.
Arizona Cardinals with 8 wins. I thought I would never seen the day.
Okay. I have the following. Last place, I agree. LC, it's the Arizona Cardinals. They are in full tank mode, I think. You have Colt McCoy basically sucked during the preseason, so you trade for Joshua Dobbs, right? LC, you know him very well.
Yep, we do.
Joshua Dobbs, former Steelers backup. And yeah, their roster just looks so like paper thin. It's just ridiculous. I have them at 2-15. Not a good year for the Cardinals, I don't think, this year. Third place, I have the Los Angeles Rams. Basically agree with everything you just said. Yeah, I think Stafford, this might be Matt Stafford's last year. I don't know. They still have him. They still got Cooper Kupp. They still got Aaron Donald somehow. And I think Sean McVay said he's contemplating retirement as well. So he might be on the outs as well. I have them at 6-11. Second place, I have the Seattle Seahawks. I have them at 10-7. I think they did improve just a little bit. They got JSN in the draft. I really like him out of Ohio State. I think that he's going to be a nice – him, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf are going to be a nice trio in the NFL, I think, this year. Seahawks at 10-7. And in first place, you got that Purdy man, Brock Purdy, leading the San Francisco 49ers to a record of 12-5.
Ooh.
There we go. So, now it's time to predict the playoffs. Oh, wait. Actually, before we do that,
Well, we got to do
who do you guys
seeding.
have as your seeds in the NFC?
All right, I'll go first for this one. I have the Philadelphia Eagles being the 1 seed, 49ers the 2 seed, 3 seed is the Lions, 4 seed is Saints, 5th seed is, how about them Cowboys, 6th seed is the Seattle Seahawks, and the Minnesota Vikings finish up at the 7th seed.
Okay.
Interesting. I too have the Eagles at number 1 seed. My number 2 seed is the 49ers. 3 seed is the Saints. 4th seed is the Lions. I got my boys at number 5 again. I got the Vikings at number 6. And I have the Falcons at number 7.
Okay. Number 1 for me, Philadelphia Dragons. Dragons. First place. Second seed, you got the San Francisco 49ers. 3rd seed, you got the Detroit Lions. 4th seed, you got the New Orleans Saints. 5th seed, you got them boys, Dallas Cowboys. Number 6 seed, you got the Seattle Seahawks. And 7th seed, you got the Minnesota Vikings. So there we go. Now it's time for the playoffs. In the wild card round, who do you guys have going on?
Alrighty, so
From
wild
you.
card, the first round. Are we doing NFC or AFC first?
Let's start with the AFC.
All right, let's do the AFC first. So my AFC, the first round, I'm going to start with the 2 versus the 7th seed, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Miami Dolphins. That is my AFC first round. And I think that playing on the road, I think Miami is unfortunately going to lose to Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh gets their revenge from last year. Kenny Pickett remembers that game from last year in Miami. And he's going to get revenge on the Dolphins this time at home. Steelers will move on to the second round. Then I have the 3 versus 6 seed, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This will be a crazy back and forth game, but actually going to go upset here. I'm going to go Cincinnati Bengals. I say Cincinnati goes in and knocks out the defending Super Bowl champion.
Wow.
Interesting.
Then we have, after that, the Jaguars and the Jets in another epic showdown. Rodgers versus Lawrence. This is going to be a tough game, and it's going to go back and forth at the end of the day. But I think overall, I'm actually going to take the New York Jets. I'm going to take the Jets over the Jaguars.
Taking that bad
man. I'm taking that bad man.
Oh, man.
That's my wild card for the AFC. And at my divisional round for the AFC. Huh?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Just want to make sure. AFC divisional is going to be the Buffalo Bills versus Cincinnati Bengals. Once again, rematch from last year's. But I think this time, however, I think that the Buffalo Bills get their revenge over the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think the Bills get the job done at the end of the day. I'm going to take the Bills over the Bengals. They end this Bengals season this time, get their revenge from last year's playoffs. Then after that, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets in the divisional round. That bad man versus Kenny Pickett.
Whoa.
That'll be a great matchup, though, in divisional round. Both offenses really good. But here's the thing that really is going to hurt. The Jets have not won the playoffs in Pittsburgh before. So I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the New York Jets in the second round. And then finally, the Bills and Steelers AFC Championship game. I'm actually going to take the Buffalo Bills to finally get over the hump, beat Kenny Pickett, and get to the Super Bowl. My AFC team is going to be the Buffalo Bills.
You have the Steelers in
my last chance. This is Buffalo's last chance.
You have the Steelers in the AFC Championship.
Yes, I do. Well, because they get the benefits of the playoff matchups. That's why. Okay. But I think Buffalo goes to the Super Bowl.
All right. I'll go next.
All right.
For the AFC. We got the 7th place Jets versus the 2nd place Bills. And in that matchup, I have the Bills moving on. I don't think that bad man goes anywhere. Give me the Bills all day over the Jets. Bengals versus Ravens. That would be the 6 versus 3. Give me, sorry, Fishman. Give me the Ravens. I actually have the Baltimore Ravens moving on. I think Odell Beckham and Lamar Jackson get the better of the Bengals. Plus, they don't have Jesse Bates anymore, so kind of hard to do that. And then 5th seed Dolphins versus 4th seed Jaguars. It's been 23 years. I think we get the win. Give me the Fins. Divisional round. We have the 5th seed Dolphins versus the number 1 seed Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning defending undisputed AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs and Super Bowl champions. And I think the Chiefs are way too much of a powerhouse for us. They would absolutely carve our defense up. Patrick Mahomes all day. Chiefs for that one. And then we got the Ravens versus the Bills. That would be number 3 versus number 1. And that one, I got the Buffalo Bills moving on to the AFC Championship, making my AFC Championship Bills versus Chiefs. And representing the AFC in Super Bowl 58 is the Buffalo Bills.
There you go.
Is the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm. Well, my Super Wild Card weekend has the 7th seed Jets against the 2nd seed Bills, and just like Pizzle, got to go with Buffalo. I'm sure that bad man will be able to take the Jets to the playoffs, but it'll probably be just one and done right there. So I also have my other matchup, number 6 seed Cincinnati Bengals going up against the 3 seed Pittsburgh Steelers. I said that this could be a pretty darn good year for Kenny Pickett, so I actually see the Steelers over the Bengals in Pittsburgh. Then for the last wild card game, I've got the number 5 seed Broncos going to the number 4 seed Jaguars. Even though Russell Wilson's going to be a great quarterback and Sean Payton will probably do a great job there, I still see Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars getting the victory over their Broncos there. So that means when I go into the divisional playoffs, I have number 3 Pittsburgh against number 2 Buffalo. And that's where the road ends with Kenny Pickett right there. Buffalo has just got a lot of great weapons over there, so I've got Buffalo heading to the AFC Championship game.
Okay.
Then I've got the number 4 Jaguars against number 1 KC. That KC offense is just going to be way too good. So I have Buffalo and KC in the AFC Championship game. And I'm going for it again. Patrick Mahomes, you think of what this guy has done ever since he came into the league.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you all, in his first year, he was still on the bench. He was the backup to Alex Smith.
Correct.
So then when Alex Smith was unceremoniously kicked out, they brought up Mahomes, and you see the work is done in just that short amount of time. I say in about 10 or 15 years, he could basically replace Tom Brady as the GOAT. That is just how good this kid is. I've got KC going to be playing in Las Vegas in February.
Okay.
Wow.
You think they go back to the promised land? Interesting. I love it. Absolutely love it, man. Okay. Now, for the NFC. Who you guys got in the NFC? LC, what do you have?
NFC, I have the first round, the 49ers and Vikings. Rematch of a few years ago, but this time 49ers get the job done once again over the Vikings. Niners cruise to an easy win over the Vikings. Then we have the Lions and the Seahawks, this time Detroit. And this is the last time the Lions were in the playoffs. They played the Seahawks, but this time they get the win in Detroit. Then we play the Saints and the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys get the job done over in New Orleans. They get the win, and they upset the Saints. So that would mean the Cowboys and Eagles for a third time would play in Philly. And I think that the Eagles, though, would still get the job done over the Cowboys in the NFC for the divisional round. And then the other divisional round game is the 49ers and the Lions. And this comes down to a back-and-forth game, one of the best NFC playoff games in a while. But I think the San Francisco 49ers, though, are just too much, and I think they get the job done over the Lions. Lions, though, getting their first playoff win in over 30 years, though, is still going to be impressive enough for a season for them. But they're still probably a year or two away from being one of the top juggernauts in the NFC. And last but not least is the Eagles and 49ers. And this will be a barn burner. This will be a fantastic game throughout the whole way. But this time, this is the Niners' third straight NFC Championship game. But this is finally the time they go back to the Super Bowl. I have the Niners going to the Super Bowl to play Buffalo Bills in my NFC play. NFC.
Bills and Niners. That would be a nice. That would be a good Super Bowl.
I agree.
Bills and Niners. That's interesting.
I like it. All right. NFC. I'll go next. We got the Cowboy. Actually, let's do the Vikings versus the 49ers. This is number 7 versus number 2. 49ers easily. I think, 49ers easily all day for that one. Seahawks versus Lions. Number 6 versus number 3. Give me the Lions to move on. Like Elsie said, first time in 30 years. That would be absolutely awesome. And then you got the 5th seed New Orleans Saints 5th seed Dallas Cowboys versus the number 4 seed New Orleans Saints. And Tim, I got the Cowboys moving on to the divisional round.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of the Cowboys, they will be facing the number 1 seed Philadelphia Eagles. And unfortunately, I got the Eagles move. I got those Philadelphia Chickens moving on.
I can see that.
But actually, you know what that means?
The Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
Yeah, I love it.
I forgot about that guy.
Senator Romy.
Then in the other divisional round, we got the Lions versus the 49ers. Number 3 versus number 2. And that one I have the 49ers moving on to the NFC Championship. So the NFC Championship is a rematch of last year, 49ers versus Eagles. And this year, it's the same result. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. So, Super Bowl 58, I have the Bills versus the Eagles.
Yes. Well, so what I've got for the NFC side as far as the wild cards, I got the number 7 Atlanta Falcons going up against number 2 49ers. That defense just might be a bit too much for Bijan Robinson. I see the Niners moving on. I got number 6 seed Minnesota Vikings against number 3 seed New Orleans Saints. Who dat? They're going to who dat over the Vikings. So I see Derek Carr leading the Vikings to a win there. And then my number 5 seed Cowboys against number 4 seed Detroit Lions. I actually see a little bit of an upset here. I see the Dallas Cowboys taking the Lions. And I see the Cowboys moving on to the divisional round. Then in the divisional round, I see the Saints against the Niners. I don't think the Niners will have much of a problem with the Saints there. I see the Cowboys and the Eagles in the divisional round. I see this one nip and tuck all the way back and forth. But a late field goal will put the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game.
Ooh.
So that means we'll see the Niners and the Cowboys in the NFC Championship just like we did those years back in the 90s.
Wow.
Yep.
Pepper says that's a shocker. Hey, you ain't heard nothing yet. I actually could see the Cowboys taking down the Niners in overtime.
Wow. That's bold.
That is bold. Playing in Levi Stadium, beating the Niners in overtime in Levi Stadium, punching their ticket to Las Vegas, where the Cowboys will take on the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
Oh, that's true. That's true, Foster. Trey Lance revenge game.
Oh.
I'm still. At first, I was kind of bugged about it, but then, well, I guess it makes sense. If Dak Prescott does not lead the Cowboys to the NFC Championship, at least the NFC Championship game, I can see Dak Prescott wearing another uniform in 2024.
Ooh. Pretty sure you predicted that last year.
Yeah, I kind of predicted that last year, but for some reason they're still holding on to Dak. It's all about Dak. Jerry Jones said it had nothing to do with the Lance trade had nothing to do with Prescott. I didn't believe that one friggin' bit. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The only thing that's for sure about Jerry Jones is that nothing is for sure about Jerry Jones.
That is true. That is very, very, very true. So once again, Super Bowl 58 is new Chiefs versus Cowboys. I'm curious who you have winning that.
I am too.
Just curious if you had to pick now.
If I had to pick now, Pepper, you better get your ears open on this one. You live in Dallas Fort Worth. Hey, I'm not too far from you. I'm about a couple hours, about two and a half hours east of you. If I had to pick between the Chiefs and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, as much as I love Patrick Mahomes because he is a native East Texan, play Jimmy for me.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Am I nuts? Maybe.
Wow. This is bold time, Tim. It's bold.
That is bold. Should I?
Up to you, Alex.
What about you? What about you, LC? Your Super Bowl matchup.
Buffalo finally gets number one.
Ooh.
Buffalo finally gets number one. They finally get their fucking Super Bowl that they've been deserving. Bills fans are deserving for many years. Their first ever actual championship. I think the only time they ever won anything was an AFL championship.
That is true.
In the 60s. So this is the first time they get a win in the Super Bowl era.
Yep.
So
you know what that means?
Yeah.
You know what that means?
No, it's the Bills! Buffalo all the way this time!
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Grab some ice.
And my Super Bowl, I got the Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles. This one, honestly, is tough because both teams are really damn good. Two of the best teams in the NFL, and respectively so, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Eagles get the better of the Bills. I think
Really?
the Eagles get the Super Bowl win. Super Bowl 58
Wow.
is the Philadelphia Eagles.
So I guess the Eagles, yeah.
Oh,
The Eagles are so much better than the Eagles.
yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. How about some of the awards at the end of the season? Some of the awards, like who do you think is going to win MVP next year?
MVP is probably going to go Josh Allen. Calling it right now, Josh Allen gets the NFL MVP.
Oh, okay.
I say maybe Patrick Mahomes, but if not Mahomes, it'll be Josh Allen. It's either one of those guys.
That is true. Definitely between one of the quarterbacks in the NFL. You got Joe Burrow, who could easily win it. Lamar can easily go back to or win it twice. Patrick Mahomes can easily go back to back in MVPs, but this year I got Josh Allen.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen winning his first Super Bowl. All right.
I actually have an interesting one for you, Alex. Draft
Okay.
order. Who gets the number one overall pick?
Well, as of right now, based on my standings, I have the Arizona Cardinals.
I have Arizona Cardinals as well. That means they get the number one pick. I think that the Indianapolis Colts are second. Buccaneers are third. Packers are fourth. Patriots are fifth. Sixth are the Texans. Seventh is the Browns. Eighth is the Rams. Ninth is the Panthers. And 10th is the Titans.
All right, so I'll give my top five. I'll give the top five order of the draft. One is going to be the Arizona Cardinals. Number two, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number three, the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, number three, the Indianapolis Colts.
All right, there you go. That's
Number four, the Las Vegas Raiders. And number five, the Chicago Bears.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year. Tim, you're going to love my response. You are going to love my response because it is your guy, number 11, Micah Parsons.
Number 11 from heaven.
Micah Parsons. wins
Interesting.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Mine's
I think
TJ
this guy's
Watt.
an absolute stud.
Mine's TJ Watt.
I would have to go slightly.
Gee, I wonder why.
I think he gets a
Slightly.
sack record.
I would love to say Parsons. I guess I will say Parsons, but TJ Watt will be a very, very close second.
Same with Nick Bosa.
Yeah, don't forget Bosa. Let's not
Probably
forget
if I had
him.
to pick a
He's been
second
pretty
pick,
damn
it'd probably
good,
be
too.
Nick Bosa. Would have been back to back. That's probably my second pick.
All right. Yeah, no, Micah Parsons for sure. What about Offensive Player of the Year?
I'd
Rodgers.
probably.
Aaron Rodgers.
I'm thinking Justin Jefferson, maybe. Yeah.
Give me
Adrian Peterson is on the chat here.
Adrian Pearson's in the chat.
so is Sauce Gardner.
So is Sauce Gardner.
And so is our man Flynn for the win.
Flynn for the win. That's right. Offensive player of the year, I think it's going to be Tyreek Hill. All right.
Ooh,
I think it's
good
gonna be Tyreek Hill.
choice.
And I think he breaks 2,000.
Wow.
I think he breaks 2,000 yards.
That'd be amazing.
I could see that.
Yes. He breaks 2,000 yards for sure. Doesn't matter who throws the ball because he's going to catch it and he's going to run to the house because he's
Absolutely.
a cheater. He's a cheater. Offensive rookie of the year. This one could go to quite a few guys.
Bijan Robinson.
He's the favorite.
Bijan Robinson.
I don't know who mine would be.
JSN maybe. Jackson Smith-Njigba. Wide receiver from the Seahawks. That could be one.
That could be one.
Maybe Zay Flowers. Ravens receiver.
Ah, man. Hold on.
Zay Flowers. Now that sounds like a real good name.
Sounds like a perfume.
It does.
Hey, I know a good young rookie could have a good season. If he gets some touches, Deuce Vaughn.
He's like 5'5", right?
Yeah, he's like as tall as I am.
He's fast too. He's Kansas State, I believe.
I believe so. He was very good for the Cowboys in the preseason.
Yes, he was.
Of course, Pollard is the starter. Then we got Ronald Jones Jr., who, by the way, will be on suspension the first 2 weeks. So it'll either have Deuce or Rico Dowdle to back him up for the first couple of weeks. But I say offensive rookie of the year, I'd probably say Bijan Robinson.
Yeah,
I'm going to say Quentin Johnson from the Chargers.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go with Bijan Robinson as well. I think the Falcons are going to use him a ton.
And then defensive rookie of the year, I'm going to go Jalen Carter. I'm going to go Jalen Carter.
I think we're looking at the same notes, Lucas. I actually have Jalen Carter as well. I think he's going to be absolutely beastly for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Absolutely.
Kind of like Ndamukong Suh's first year. He gets me a lot of vibes to that. Just without stomping on people and stuff,
Exactly.
So yeah. So
Comeback player of the year, Damar Hamlin.
That's a given.
Yeah, that's a given.
That is an absolute given. The moment he steps on the field.
Coach of the year, Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
MCDC. Dan Campbell. All day. Yeah, that's it.
That's it, guys.
That's all we got. We appreciate you guys joining us for our preseason predictions. Next week, week one.
Week 1, baby.
Yes.
This week is week 1. We hope to see you guys there. I'm actually going to be in Chicago this weekend for AEW All Out.
Lucky.
Oh, nice.
So I'm actually going to be, filming some content for that. Hopefully a vlog coming out soon. Next week, same time, same place. Anything else you got coming out? We got the fantasy draft tomorrow or Friday night, Tim.
That's right. That's right. On my channel, TJM3774 Fantasy Football Fever. Special start time because we have our league draft. And I've got these two guys here, these two clowns, my two bros, my partners in crime here. They're in my league. We have our draft. Our draft starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. We will be going on the air 15 minutes before 9:45 p.m. Eastern, 8:45 Central, TJM 3774. That's my channel. The show is Fantasy Football Fever. I can't wait.
I'll be there. I think I'll be there. I'm gonna show up.
Right.
I'll be there.
There's someone in the chat named Steve Harvey. I loved you in that Meat Canyon video, by the way.
What about Steve Harvey's Big Time? Remember that show?
Yes, I do
Back in
remember.
the day. All right.
All right.
We'll see you next week, right?
Yep, I'll be on. I'll just be on here mostly.
That's
I'll
right.
be on here mostly. So.
For sure. All right.
All right.
So, for Tiny Tim, for LC Muscles 28, say Pizzle, saying peace out, fins up, baby. We'll see y'all next week.
Let's go Steelers, baby.
How about them? How about them Cowboys? New season starts next week. Be there.
There.
Be square.